When the changes in North America's climate led to theories such as the Ice Age and greenhouse effects. In 1896, Svante Arrhenius calculated a potential 5 to 6 degree Celsius temperature increase due to atmospheric carbon dioxide, marking the birth of global warming theory. By the mid-20th century, evidence of rising global temperatures and human-induced carbon dioxide emissions became increasingly clear. So, climate change refers to long-term changes in Earth's climate patterns, driven primarily by human activities such as greenhouse gas emissions, and it impacts ecosystems, economies, and societies globally. Reporting on climate change highlights the urgent need for understanding and addressing its far-reaching effects.
So next is types of globalization. First one is economic. International trade and business operations contributes significantly to carbon dioxide emissions. This is due to factors like transportation of goods, energy consumption in manufacturing, and overall carbon footprint of production processes. The challenge is promoting sustainable economic practices and growth that don't need to increase emissions. This involves shifting towards a cleaner energy sources, improving energy efficiency, and adapting sustainable production method. Next is technological. Like, Next is technological. Technological advancements like renewable energy technologies, energy efficient solutions, and carbon capture technologies are crucial for addressing climate change. International cooperation is necessary to accelerate the development, deployment, and widespread adoption. Ulit-ulit. International cooperation is necessary to accelerate the development, deployment, and widespread adoption of these technologies. This, info, ulit-ulit. This involves sharing knowledge, resources, and best practices among nations. Next is social. So, climate change affects diverse communities globally, making social justice a crucial aspect of mitigation and adoption efforts. Global knowledge exchanges encourages individual and societal change. This means sharing information about climate change impacts, sustainable practices, and effective adaptation strategies. Last is ecological. Climate change ulit. Next is ulit naman. Last is last is ecological. Climate change ano ba yan? Next is ecological. Climate change exacerbated by greenhouse gas emissions necessitates strengthening climate change treaties and international cooperation for emission reduction and climate change adoption. Addressing climate change requires ulit addressing ulit Addressing climate change requires global collaboration and ano ba yan? Ulit. Addressing climate change requires global collaboration and coordinated efforts to reduce emissions, develop resilient infrastructure, and protect vulnerable communities. Next is how it enabled the issue. In terms of climate change, the forces of globalization operating two ways. So, on the one hand, nakakatulong yung globalization sa paglago ng economics technology and international cooperation. However, at the same time, malaki rin yung negative impact ng globalization such as increased industrialization, consumption, and pagkasira ng environment. And because of this, mas tumataas ang greenhouse gases and mas lumalala yung pagkasira or paglala ng pagbabago ng klima. In short, globalization has both good and bad effects on the climate. While it helps in development and fighting climate change, it also has negative impacts on the environment.
So, good day ma'am. My name is Sophia Jill S. La Chica and allow me to present to you the key problems of our case study. So, first is rising sea levels and coastal erosion. The Philippines is a country with a long coastline and thus very vulnerable to the effect of global warming, especially to the rising sea level. This is a direct threat to coastal inhabitants, thus resulting in flooding, displacement, and loss of important coastal inhabitants. So, in Sitio Pariyahan, Bulacan, this coastal village, located in north of Manila, is experiencing a double whammy of land subsidence and rising of sea levels. The village is sinking about 4 cm or 1.5 inch every year, primarily due to the overuse of groundwater. This sinking land combined with rising sea levels is making the village increasingly vulnerable to flooding and storm surge. So next is the intensified extreme weather events. Recently, events have been shown that the Philippines is experiencing the effect of climate change with increasing relevance in intensity of extreme weather, which leads to physical lost economy and social impacts. Intensive extreme weather events in the Philippines, we experience droughts and heat waves. In some areas, they experience increased rainfall. Others are facing drier conditions, leading to droughts that can devastate agriculture and food security. While in some other parts of the Philippines, they experience a steady rise in annual mean temperature, exacerbating nighttime heat and altering local climates. In urban areas, particularly in susceptible to heat waves due to the urban heat island effects. So next is the disrupted rainfall patterns and water scarcity. These challenges includes the current issue of irregular rainfall and water shortage in the Philippines as a result of climate change and population increase, as well as poor water infrastructure. This is because of El Nino Southern Oscillations phenomenon and resulting in irregularity in rainfall with consequent effect of drought and water scarcity. So, in Nueva Ecija province, located in central Luzon region, is known as the rice granary of the Philippines. However, it has been experiencing severe drought condition in recent years, leading to the drying up of Pantabangan Dam reservoir and the resurfacing of a 30-year-old settlement. This drought has significantly impacted the agricultural production and water security in the region. So, next is the degradation of marine ecosystem. The Philippine marine environment is currently under pressure as a result of over-exfoliation, unsustainable fishing practice, pollution, and climate change. This has a negative impact on fishing because it leaves fish in the sea and affect the marine ecosystem, while destructive methods such as dynamite and cyanide fishing destroys the coral reefs. So marine debris such as infamous plastic from land and sea resources add to the number of degradations. Some impacts of climate change include increasing sea temperatures and coral bleaching, which poses danger on the marine ecosystem and individuals who it depend on it for their source of livelihood. So here in Palawan, a jewel in the Philippine archipelago is renowned for its breathtaking marine biodiversity. However, our pristine environment is facing a growing threats from the combined impacts of climate change, unsustainable fishing practices, and pollution. So lastly is the food insecurity and economic impacts. Global warming is affecting food production in the Philippines as well as among other countries, which is a major concern of food security and income. Climate catastrophes, changes a seasonal rainfall and increased temperature are declining agricultural productivity and impacting livestock. So the climate change altering rainfall patterns has led to more frequent and intense drought and flood. These extreme weather events damage the crops, reduce yields, and disrupt planting and harvesting cycles. The Philippines is particularly vulnerable to climate change due to its geographic location, resilience to rain-fed agriculture, and high population density. The most vulnerable population are often rural communities, small household farmers, and fisher folks, whose livelihood are directly depend on agriculture and fisheries. The climate change induced disruption in food production can lead to higher food prices, making it more difficult for low-income households to afford nutritious foods. This can be exacerbate existing food insecurity and malnutrition problems. So for the conclusion, globalization has fueled growth in industries, economics, and technologies, but it has led to environmental degradation, increased greenhouse gas emissions, and negative impacts on ecosystem and societies. Effective governance structures and public administration can help address climate change and create a secure future of generations. So the urgent needs for global action to address climate change is acknowledge the role of globalization in both exacerbating and potential mitigating the problem. The focus on the Philippines emphasizes the vulnerability of developing countries and the importance of strong governance structures in leading the charge towards a more resilient and sustainable future. That's all, ma'am. Thank you. The impact of climate change in the Philippine government. The challenges to the government encompass the absence of specialized policies and fiscal reliefs, high capital expenses, and concentration on future surroundings. Implementation hurdle and the advancement of coal power. Climate change has mitigation and adaptation are another area of potential for the Philippines, including green technology, investments, and sustainable energy and land use partnership. The Philippines can turn climate change as its biggest weakness to strength or springboard to create a strong or foundation of strong sustainable reforms. So, the Philippines' journey to address climate change is a complex and ongoing process. The government must prioritize a comprehensive approach that addresses both mitigation and adaptation with a focus on investing in green technologies, strengthening adaptation measures, enhancing policy implementation, and promoting international cooperation.
So, the alternative courses of actions, ACAs, for addressing climate change is number one, sustainable agriculture practices. The advantage is enhances the climate resilience, environmental benefits, and supports farmer. The disadvantage is high initial cost, resistance from traditional farmers, and limited short-term impact. Number two, strengthened social safety nets and foods assistance program. So the advantages is it immediate the immediate relief, political support, and boost to the local economy. So and in the disadvantages naman is the strains fiscal resources, risk dependency, and logistical challenges. And lastly, number three, investment in climate resilient infrastructure and technologies. The advantage is that it provides long-term economic benefits, create jobs, improves security, and improves food security. And sa disadvantage is it requires high capital investments, incur maintenance costs, and raise equity concerns.
So, for our best ACA, our chosen best ACA is implement sustainable agriculture practices. So, in an era marked by increased climate change, dwindling ulit. In an era marked by increased climate change, dwindling natural resources, and growing global population, the imperative to adopt sustainable agriculture practices has never been more urgent. Sustainable agriculture, ulit. Sustainable agriculture, a holistic approach to farming that balances environmental, social, and economic considerations, offers a promising pathway towards a resilient and equitable food system. At its core, sustainable agriculture aims to minimize the negative impacts of ulit. At its core, sustainable agriculture aims to minimize the negative impacts of conventional farming practices while maximizing long-term benefits. By optimizing resource use, reducing pollution, and enhancing biodiversity, sustainable agriculture contributes to a healthier planet and more uh, prosperous society. While the transition to sustainable agriculture presents challenges such as initial investment costs and the need for technical expertise, the long-term benefits are substantial. By by adopting these practices, farmers can improve their livelihoods, protect the environment, and contribute to a more sustainable future. Furthermore, governments, NGOs, non-governmental organizations, and international organizations can play a crucial role in supporting the adoption of sustainable agriculture by providing financial incentives, technical assistance, and market access for sustainable products. By working together, we can create a world where agriculture nourishes people and the planet. So next is the recommendations. First one is develop a national climate smart agriculture policy framework. So, kailangan ng government na magkaroon ng malawak na policy or rules sa regarding the climate smart agriculture or CSA para masolusyonan or matugunan yung mga challenges like climate vulnerability para matugunan yung mga climate change ulit para masolusyonan or matugunan yung mga challenges like climate vulnerability, food security, and sustainable production. So, ang next recommendation namin is provide financial incentives and support mechanism. So, having the emissions produced by agriculture and moving towards climate smart practices requires a lot of capital or need ng malaking puhunan. So, yung government is dapat mag-provide ng financial incentives sa ating mga farmers and other stakeholders para yung mga farmer natin is mabilis makapag-transport and makapagbenta and mas lumawak pa yung mga production. So our third recommendation is strengthen climate change education and farmer training program. So the government should establish a large scale training para mas maging aware yung mga farmers, mas maging aware sila sa mga adaptable practices regarding sa pagbabago ng klima. So our fourth recommendation is promote research and innovation in climate smart technology. So investing in research and development can lead to the development and innovative technologies that can help farmers adapt to climate change. So our fifth recommendation naman po is enhance climate resilient infrastructure. So the government needs to fund infrastructures to enhance the adaptation of agriculture system para masiguro yung patuloy na production ng pagkain lalo na sa panahon ng mga calamities. So next recommendation is support sustainable livelihood diversification. So as climate conditions continue to evolve, yung mga government dapat may mga iba't ibang mga activities na ibibigay sa mga farmers na pwede nilang mapagkakitaan para hindi lang sila sa agriculture nakadepende. So for our last recommendation is strengthen public awareness and market access for sustainable products. So need ng government na palaganapin ng or dagdagan yung mga pamilihan para sa mga climate smart na product. So and the government needs to increase awareness about the benefits of sustainable agriculture and creating markets for sustainable products can incentivize farmers to adopt these practices. So that's all for our recommendation.
So, for the conclusion, globalization has fueled growth in industries, economics, and technologies, but it has led to environmental degradation, increased greenhouse gas emissions, and negative impacts on ecosystem and societies. Effective governance structures and public administration can help address climate change and create a secure future of generations. So, the urgent needs for global action to address climate change is acknowledge the role of globalization in both exa- exacerbating and potential mitigating the problem. The focus on the Philippines emphasizes the vulnerability of developing countries and the importance of strong governance structures in leading the the charge towards a more resilient and sustainable future. That's all, ma'am. Thank you.